Hey guys and ladies, welcome to my tutorial on how to set up an iPhone or iOS device as a new device and a short explanation on the setup from backup option. So first things first, let's open up iTunes. While this is loading, go get your device and make sure it's ready with the cable. Then plug it in via the USB cable. It may take a bit of time for it to first show up, so be patient. When it does show up, it will come up in the left hand sidebar and also say that it's accessing the iTunes store. So let's follow the on-screen instructions quoted. Let's get started. First, click the continue button. The next screen is terms and conditions. There's not really much to pay attention to here. You can save them as a PDF and then print them off, but we're just going to click continue. But make sure you have the tick box selected that shows you agree. Next on is your Apple ID and email. Enter the email and password respectively. And click continue. Following the steps, enter in your details. I'm setting this up for my mum, so obviously it's her name. And I'm going to uncheck the box which says keep me updated with news and offers from Apple. Next we'll come to the setup screen. Here we choose whether we want to set up as a new device, so nothing is on there, or from a backup of another device. This is when you are replacing a device mainly, or you have two devices which are similar like an iPod Touch or an iPhone which you want to keep the same. This next screen we choose whether or the name we want to call the iOS device. Next you want to uncheck these boxes so we can do them in the next steps of process. Click done. And next you'll decide whether you want to open iTunes upon connection to your device. First, iTunes will make an initial backup and sync your device, so don't be confused that this is going on. This is just to make sure the basic details and firmware are backed up. I like to agree to send performance reports to Apple, doing my bit for the iOS community. Once the initial sync is complete, decide whether you want to sync the device or manually choose music and apps accordingly. Manually managing music means you can drag and drop songs and apps on and off of the device as you wish. I like to sync mine, so I build a playlist and then sync it. This is just a quick demonstration of how you drag and drop. It's very simple. Next we'll move back to, I'll choose the sync option and uncheck manually manage, click OK, and that's all cool. So you don't particularly want to choose that option because that will mess up your music and make it poor quality. So we'll go to the info pane, sync address book, contacts, iCal, calendars, all of this sort of stuff. And it's just basic info if you want to keep up to date and you want to keep in contact with stuff and everything. It's basically the whole management system of how you go about your day. Next is apps. This is very simple. Check the apps you want to sync and they'll fly onto your device. I'm just selecting BBC News and Facebook. So some basic apps which would be around Amazon Kindle. That's also the competing app to iBooks. It's quite useful. But obviously I'm setting this up for my mum, so I'm not a big fan of that sort of stuff. You can also create folders in this pane, just like you would on the device itself. And you can also name them, so you don't have to wait until you've got your device synced or ejected in order to make these folders and organize your iOS device. So here I'm just arranging folders and giving them names, pretty much how my mum has her iPad set up. See, we've got social networking and productivity. You just drag them over to the right hand side of the screen to move them onto different pages. We've got photography here, and also have lifestyle and media. She likes to keep all these ones in the media folder. See, I could have arranged this slightly differently by using the setup from backup option. So I could have selected in the drop down box Louise's iPad, and all of the apps and arrangement data would have that she has on her iPad would have gone onto the iPhone in exactly the same format. However, this is an 8 gig and she's got a 32 gig iPad, so it's would have been a bit of a squeeze. No doubt iTunes would have complained at me that you're over capacity, you must choose to delete stuff. So you're just having a little potter around. I mean, as you can see, it's very simple. It's not very tough at all. I like to keep settings separate because it's just it's a folder in itself. Make sure at the bottom you uncheck automatically sync apps. That can really clog up your device. So next is music. You can have your whole library on there, but this device only has 8 gigabytes, which is 145 gigabytes too little. So check selected playlists only, and I'm going to demonstrate on this on the go playlist. Uncheck videos and uncheck TV shows, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to include voice memos though, because they're quite handy. If you want to record something quickly, that will automatically sync them onto the computer and vice versa. Uncheck movies, TV shows, especially on low capacity devices. As you can see at the bottom, the bar has dropped right down. iTunes U is a university thing. I'm not going to sync books because my mum has them on her iPad. Why have them on both? It's also quite difficult to read on the iPhone. Well, I find it anyway. You can sync photos quite handily from your iPhoto library or Aperture library. And your photos from your iPhone get synced to that. So let's just click apply. And you'll see the status bar at the top doing some funky stuff. This will sync all your info, and there's several stages. It goes through info, apps, music, and then it finishes your sync. You can see it is quite quick, even for USB 2 standards. I know a lot of us would like to see USB 3, but that's not going to happen with Apple. Thunderbolt hardware in iOS devices would be pretty cool, but we're looking at wireless syncing in iOS 5. That could be quite exciting, although quite battery draining. So let's just see what the future holds for that. Now I'm going to show you how music syncs. Here you see on the iPhone there are 3 songs in the on the go playlist, and the same for on my computer. Now I'm going to go to music and select a song. One I quite like is End Transmission by AFI. So I'll just type that in the search box. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it across to the on the go playlist in my library. Now come back to the iPhone, and as you can see, they're different. That song is missing. So go back to the summary page, click sync. Let it do its funky magic. There we go, you see it working at the top. go back to On The Go and you'll see End Transmission is in there. Alternatively, you can right click on the device and click sync there rather than in the summary page. And now I'm just going to give you a short explanation of what this bar at the bottom is. It has different colours in it, which shows you how much space is taken up by different media kinds. So blue is audio, green is apps, yellow is other data, which will be calendars and contacts, all that sort of stuff, email accounts, all the raw data of your contact information and stuff like that. So this dark grey space is actually free space, but keep an eye on it because the formatted size, the capacity is actually less than the advertised. So just click eject using this one here. Alternatively, you can right click and eject. It's the same as sync. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was useful. Please subscribe, share, comment, and give me your suggestions. Thank you very much.